So welcome to session two. In the last session, we covered the basics of recruitment and selection. If you remember the TND model that we started, I want you during each lesson to focus what you've learned onto one of those boxes within the model. And we're going to talk again, we're going to go back and forth. So we're going to talk again about demand. We're going to talk about more about recruitment. There's a whole section just on that, and then the selection aspects of the model. And then also ask yourself, what elements do you introduce to it to make it talent management? So we talked about the basics of recruitment selection just to get you started, start to get you thinking. But we also um, thought about moving recruitment and selection as a specialty, as a profession, a career option for you into talent management. And when you start thinking in those terms, there's more room for you, and definitely there's more money to be made and a more viable career option. We looked at some structure related to recruitment selection, discussed some errors, biases that we might have to deal with, and we're going to cover more of that off in legal issues or legal influences section. So wait for that one in the next session. So in the next session, we are going to start talking about validity and reliability. I mean, I could assume you know what validity is and reliability is. Well, you better, because you covered it in the last course. But we're going to dig more deeper into it. I'm going to remind you about what it is. We're going to use some numbers and some charts to see how you can prove the value or the worth or the effectiveness or efficacy of your recruitment and selection efforts. And we'll start looking at some of the metrics as well. Now, we're going to go more formal into recruitment and selection. We'll revisit the model, of course, and maybe add more metrics to it to get into a more evidence-based type of an approach. We'll look at more errors that can be problematic. And again, we're going to look at the biases, stereotypes, judgments that we make that might not be structured or formal. And we'll start talking about testing candidates. Although there's a whole section on it in the second half, I think it's worth kind of mentioning what's coming. The unfortunate thing is we don't start looking at recruitment specifically or selection specifically until a few more sessions. We have to do framework first, but it doesn't hurt to start looking at it and thinking about it in advance. So we'll see you in this session. Make sure you go through the PowerPoint narrated video on the session and also read the notes. And I think at this point you should start going to the discussion board and providing your thoughts, your questions, your ideas there so that you can share with other people. And I'll be looking forward to reading those.